Okay, as I said in tip two, if you heard me, I was playing around with an idea in my head. So we're gonna try it while recording, because why not? What could go wrong with that? And the idea is this, the stars. It's been bothering me that I only have one star. Right now I have 0 stars, but earlier I had 1 star. So let's throw a star on the screen with a draw circle. Where do I want to put that? Well, earlier I had a star X and a star Y, and I just made it like kind of small, and I think I did it in white color, because why not white? Oh, it's going to complain because what is star X and star Y? So I go up here. I think I may have done it in different places before, but for right now I'm just going to put it up here. And now I have a star X and star Y, and then I'm going to say global star X and star Y. And of course I always forget that this is the radius, and then I need a size of the line as well. So, oh, I still have my crazy sun. I'm going to take that off in a second. But there's my 1 star. And I'm actually going to increase the size of it just for a second. And I'm also going to just take out the ability for my sun to move. So there, now my sun doesn't move, and I've got a star that doesn't move. And we played around with some ideas like how to make this random numbers so that it would appear all over the place. Um, Another idea I had was to make a random number that does something else. So what if I said that blink, for instance, so did I import random? I did. Blink equals a random integer from 1 to 5. And if blink equals a 1, then it's going to draw the circle. And if it doesn't equal a 1, it's not going to draw the circle. So again, because this is in a loop, this will change every time. And sometimes it'll be a 1 and sometimes it won't. And what happens is I get a little bit of a randomized blinking. Sometimes it goes away for longer, but it should be on the screen for 20% of the time, right? A 1 out of 5 chance. And the reason it seems like it's always on the screen is because it goes so fast that it just seems like it's kind of blinking. Every once in a while it goes out longer, but uh, plus I think there's some residual effect from our eyes, so it doesn't seem to really go away as fast as it could. Now, if I wanted it to hardly ever show up, I don't know why I'd want it to hardly ever show up, but now it's a 1 out of 100 chance. And so it comes in very infrequently now. I don't know, maybe there's something you could use this for, lights in a house or something more than just a star, but it seems like stars should be a little bit more. If you want it, you could do a 1 out of 2 chance, so it's 50% on. And then it basically looks like it's always on, doesn't ever go away, and just kind of does that blinky look to it. So, cool. I like that. But I want more than those, and I don't want to spend the time to try to draw 50,000 of them all over the screen, right? What if I wanted more of those? So, what we're going to do is we're going to make a list of stars, which means we can start using a loop to go through them. So, let's just say up here I say stars equals 100. So, I've got 100 stars. Now, what I have to do is I have to say, I'm going to actually get rid of these two for a second. I'm going to say my star X is a list, and my star Y is a list. And so they're empty lists, but now I'm going to populate those lists. So I'm going to say for I in range, in range stars. So like if I change the number of stars I have, this will change. And now, if you remember, if you've done lists, if you haven't, this won't make much sense, but if you've done lists, you can add things into an empty list by saying append. So I'm going to add my random number of where I want the star to be located. So it's going to create a random X value, and it's going to put it into star X. Like, so position 0 might be, that star is going to be 300 over, and then star 1 is going to be 800 over, and star 2 is going to be 25 over, and so on and so forth. So it's going to do this. It's going to create a new value for every single star that's out there. And again, I only want to go to 300 down because that's where my mountains end, and I don't want them all over the screen. So now I have, this is going to create, because I told it that stars is 100, it's going to create 100 random stars. Or it's going to create 100 random star X and star Ys. But I have to actually be able to draw those as well. So down here I have to make some changes. Down here I have to say for I in stars. And so we're still going to do the blink. We're going to still say if the blink equals 1, but this time instead of saying just draw star X and star Y, we're going to say draw star X at position I. And draw it at position I. We also could have said, oh, yeah, see, I shouldn't have said this. I should have said range stars. There's another way I could have done that, but I'm using stars as a number. So it's going to draw star number 1. Star number 0, and it's going to decide should star 0 be blinking, and if so, like if it's a 1, then I will draw that star at its position. Then I'll go back and I'll take a look at star number 1, and I'll say should star 1 be blinking. Maybe that one was a 2, so it skips it and doesn't draw it. Star 3, okay, I'm going to draw star 3 and I'm going to draw it at that position. So with just a few lines of code, we've added the ability to do 100 stars instead of making like a big list of 5 stars, 10 stars. Think of how long that would have taken. All right, now I think maybe I have to say, okay, I'm using stars, right? Stars is there, so I have to make global stars. Oh, no, that's dumb. Must be an integer. Start must be an integer. Why is this not an integer? I'm a little worried because I called this stars and I called this stars. So what if I changed it to star num? But I don't think that's the issue. Oops, wrong button. Oh, I guess it was. Okay, now of course somewhere on top of my sun, and some of them are going to be like kind of on top of each other, but that's pretty cool. And maybe they're a little too blinky. They seem like they're a little spastic, right? So maybe happens too often. Maybe I want to do this. Make it 1 to 10, but if it equals as long as it's less than 10, so it'll only blink turn off if it's not a number 10. I mean, if it's a numbers 1 through 9, it will be on, and if it's a number 10, it will be off. Oh. I use the greater than sign, so that's a problem. So they're a little less blinky than they were before, because they don't turn off quite as often. They're also in a different position, so every time I play this, they'll get a random position. You see I have a few problems, like them sneaking out from behind there. I like the ones that are just visible over the mountains. Now that I got that, and I know they work, I can take it on down to like smaller so that they look more like stars. I can change this so that I don't make them too far down, so like 298 instead of 300. That shouldn't be too hard to fix. I can also make sure that I draw them first before I draw my sun, so that they go behind the sun. And then I could increase the number of them, right? Why have 100 stars when I can have 500 stars? Ah, now there's a night sky, completely randomized. You would think that you can't quite see the ones that are right around the sun, but maybe we'll allow that to happen. That's okay. So there you go. Really nice effect, and there's some numbers that you could still play with to make it do different things, but that's pretty fun.